Hey, it's Mikey Mike. Hey, it's the first day out. We're surfing at Lake Isabella in Southern California, May 2nd. We just got the release to get out into the water, but sometimes all hell breaks loose. And it was a great day up until that point. It's a pretty long video, but having a great time working on my transitions. Got a quick launch, and then a mega self-rescue kind of situation. So you got to watch the end of the video. Give me some tips and pointers, and see how I did. I don't know. It could have lost a leg in this one. So anyway, we are up and riding on the 11-meter Cabrina Switchblade and moving right along. It was a nice windy day. It was between 20 and 35. It got a little gusty in the afternoon, but it was a lot of fun. I had a great time. And it was fun. Mike Joy was there. Andrew was there. There was a bunch of local kiters there. It was a lot of fun, but extremely gusty, especially in the afternoons. And it's all side shore. So if you get in trouble, you are going to be down at the end of the lake, or that's about where you end up, and that's quite a few mountains down. They do have a small little island in the middle, kind of a little jetty. So working on my toe sides here. Getting toeside and having a great time. I was struggling a little bit. It's been off for about 2 months kiting, and but it was coming back. And then we had a small issue a little bit later here in the video, so you got to stick around and watch that. So doing good, getting up and riding, no problem. The water was not too cold at all. It was really nice. The winds were pretty consistent. This is about 10 o'clock in the morning. Maybe 11, and it was perfect actually. Really nice. They were not allowing people to camp, but they were allowing people to kite and windsurf. It's one of the California exercising allowables, which is great. Kitesurfing and kiteboarding, which is awesome. So we finally got out to the lake and did a quick session. Everybody's being really responsible and keeping nice and social distanced. It's not really easy to get close to people on a kiteboard, but hey, nevertheless. So quick down loop into toe side. And doing real good here up until the point I decided to turn around. And nice face plant of water. But for the most part, I'm getting a lot better on my toe side. I need to try to switch my feet. That was my plan for today until I got a little exhausted from my adventure. So I tried to go the other way and didn't quite make it. And then the cot kind of did a hot launch. Ooh, and I let the bar go and I survived, so that was nice. So we got the bottom turn, and nice, fast, super fast bottom turns today. I don't know why it was going so fast. That kite just really got down in the wind window and really pulled me around. So I think I weighed in probably at 276 pounds for this. No, excuse me, 267 pounds for this session. So definitely gained a little bit of weight, the Corona weight. And there's that quick hot start, and just kind of pulled me right off the board. Here's another attempt at some. I wasn't giving up. I don't care how many times I crashed. I'm working on these down tunes. And another one. A few proper drownings today, but it's all good. Just trying not to lose my board, and the kite's back up. Here's a little kite cam perspective. And face plant. And kite down. And kite back up. So we're making our transitions to the other side, and this is about halfway across the lake. There are some shallow obstacles around you got to be careful with. And it gets a little light by the island here. There's a little bit of wind shadow sometimes, so you got to be careful. But another down loop bottom turn. And that one worked out pretty well. A little bit squirrely, but did pretty good. And I was actually able to go this direction for a little while and then turn around and go the opposite direction. So we're working in here toe side. Got some pretty good speed going too. I was pretty impressed with myself. Not saying much, but hey, I was having a great time. Just mowing the grass, that's all I need to do. Don't need to get too crazy. And I decided to go the other way, so bring the kite over. And I was able to make the transition. And I unspun the bar without going too far, which was awesome. So it's all coming together a little bit more and more I go kiting, the better I get. Still beginning, but you know, it's kind of the beginner intermediate type of style. I think I'm past beginning, but you know, hey. Oh, and there was my issue. So what happened is I fell back in the water and the chicken loop came undone. I think I hit it with my, I'm not quite sure, and I had a lot of power on the kite and I flagged the kite out, and now I'm stuck in the middle of the lake with no kite. So, and it's side shore right here, so the only place I'm going is out in the middle of the lake. So I'm going to try to fix my chicken loop. So I'm struggling here and I'm pulling the line in and trying to get to the bar. See if I can fix the chicken loop. So I get the bar and I figured out what was going wrong. And it's not easy to hold the bar and the kite starts to power back up. And now my leg is tangled. Holy crap. So my leg is tangled around the line. I look in under the water, and sure enough, I see my leg and my quick release line, my safety, wrapped around my leg. And now I'm just about ready to panic. Now, if I would have had a kite knife, I would have cut my line and just cut my losses, but I didn't have that option, so I had to figure it out. So Kite Knife is next on the investment list, that's for sure. I was able to get that line undone. Oh, it was a little sketchy. So I'm still floating around in the middle of nowhere. And my board was probably about 25 yards behind me. And it was... I was struggling. So I did have a PFD around my waist that I could have inflated. So it wasn't that time yet. We're still swimming and trying to figure out this chicken loop thing. But I was struggling. As soon as I grabbed the bar, the kite relaunched. And it started dragging me. Fortunately, it was dragging me more towards the middle of the island, or that little side island there, which was good. And the wind was blowing probably 20 right here at the time. And I see my board off to the side. It's going to pass me here. So I decide to, cut my losses. I'm going for the board. I know if I have a good flotation device and my board, I'm going to be a lot better. And if I can get that chicken loop back in, I could probably relaunch the kite and get back to the other side of the lake. And believe me, that was a joyful sight seeing my board over there. And now I just hang on for dear life and go, oh my gosh. It's definitely time to keep getting a little better shape, because I was stressing, but didn't panic. Kept everything under control. Knew I just had to catch my breath and I would be okay. I can start working getting that kite back together. So sorry for a little bit of long video, but I know this might help someone or show somebody what to do or what not to do, either way. And kiting in Lake Isabella can be a little tricky, so you don't want to be down by the mountains way, a couple miles down lake would be bad, and the walk back would be probably a good 15 to 20 miles around the lake, which would not be good, even though it's only a couple miles across the lake. Or a mile or something like that. I'm not quite sure. So I was being real careful not to get the lines tangled around my hands this time. Kind of try to mess with the chicken loop here while I'm laying on my board, which was a lot nicer and it felt a lot safer. But I'm trying to manage those lines, keep them away from me. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong with the chicken loop. It was probably just need a little bit more practice with the chicken loop and just the mechanism itself, especially when you're under a stressful condition. So I knew kind of what to do, but it just wasn't cooperating in the water. It wouldn't snap back into place or snap in. And now it started to power back up. And I'm fighting it. I'm trying to get it going. Holding on center line. And there goes the kite. Just released again. And my hands about this time are just super tired. They're really sore trying to pull the line in and fight against the wind. And the water is not warm yet. It's only May. And this is probably a 3,500 foot elevation. And it's cold and it's windy. And it was nothing I did wrong. Everything was fine, perfect. Just laid back in the water, and somehow I think my harness hit the release, or the surfboard might have hit the release. I'm not quite sure what hit the release. But we're definitely not going to try that again. So now I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just like, okay, I got to hold this line up so the kite doesn't power back up. And I got to get the chicken loop dialed in. So how can I hold it without it powering up and chopping my finger off? I was very conscious on where the power was and where my lines were after getting my leg wrapped around there. And there we go. We got it. Can't believe it. So now I'm just letting the line back out. And my buddy Mike comes by and he's like checking on me. And he was a savior, definitely. But definitely having problems all around the board. So we're going to try this one more time. I know if I can get the chicken loop onto my hook again, I could get this kite up in the air. I have good confidence that I could do that. And what's crazy is I have actually a leash on my harness that I could have attached to my surfboard, because I have a little surfboard thing, tether piece on my surfboard, and I could have ensured that I wouldn't have lost my surfboard during this whole event. I don't like to kite with a leash, but I keep it on my harness for rescue, and I completely forgot all about it. I did have the Lifejacket available if I needed to deploy that, but I was good. And so this is where it gets tricky. So I let the line back out, and it powers back up, but the line is one of those side lines are tangled. So here comes the mega death loop. And death loop sliding sideways on a surfboard is no fun. And I know if it spins too much, it's probably going to get locked up, and I'm not going to be able to release. So I released again. And I said, okay, I'm going to cut my losses. I see the island off to the side, so I'm just going to paddle my little butt off and try to get over there. And then I can deal with all this on the side. So it took a little while, so I'm going to speed this video up just a little bit here. and watch the mega fast paddling. That's definitely not the way it worked out. There's probably another 5 or 10 minutes to paddle to the side, which wasn't too bad, but definitely was. I was dying. That's me kicking my feet there because I can't use my arms anymore because they're spent. Then I can see Mike over off to the side. He's holding the kite right there on the shore, and it's super deep right here. Super deep, and it's hard to. I couldn't stand up yet. And it's rocky. Thank gosh I had booties on. Hey, if you're not kiting with booties for emergency situations, you better be kiting with booties because this was
chicken
tricky.
Loop came undone. Yeah. And then the line got wrapped around my leg. And then I was like drowning. I was like, oh fuck.
That's pretty much it. It's holy crap.
You okay? Give me a second.
So I was checking on Mike, make sure he was okay.
Shit.
He got the kite under control, and he's flying his kite. You know that's not easy, and it's gusty, and it's a little tricky. So let's get that board secure so it doesn't go anywhere. Let's try to get that bar back in and figure this thing out. Seems to be a little bit of rat's nest, not too bad. Just trying to undo the death loop. So I have to pull the safety line back through so I can get to the...
Oh, I'm so tired. I'm gonna have to.
So now I'm completely on the opposite side of the lake. And I got to get back to the other side somehow. So I was pretty confident that nothing was tangled up, but I don't know how it tangled. So if this piece didn't work here, I was going to self-rescue and then unwind the kites and then lay them out on the island if needed, but I was going to give it a try first. So fortunately I watched the YouTube video, which is pretty unique. It was about how to untangle your lines if they're crossed, and if they were crossed, that you could actually fly your kite. And I just watched that the night before, which was very helpful in this situation.
Just let me catch my breath. If you have to let it go, you can let it go, but I can always release again. At least I'm at the shore. Holy shit. That was scary. Huh? Whew.
So I'm getting it all straightened out here, and I think we're going to give it a shot. So this is the first time I've ever drift launched.
I think they're good, but I can always release again if I have to, real quick. Yeah, my fucking chicken loop came undone, and I couldn't hook it. It was like, I tried a couple times and I couldn't get it to latch, and I finally got the latch.
So make sure you leave some comments down below, and we'll get this guy hopefully back in the sky here in a second. This is Mikey Mike's adventure at Lake Isabella during the Corona pandemic, trying to get some exercise. Boy, did I get my share of exercise today.
I don't know either. I've never done this before. I guess just let it.
So I'm checking to make sure I have it depowered so I don't get it doesn't get too crazy if we get it launched. Got my trim all the way in. Mike's trying to fly his kite and also manage my kite, which he's doing an amazing job. I really appreciate that. So I'm trying to keep the bar out, and the kite's starting to kind of inflate, and here we go. And then it's completely downwind, and it's pulling me up against these rocks down here on the bottom, and I bruised the bottom of my foot walking on those things, trying to keep back pressure. That was no fun, so I'm going to try to... I see the lines are twisted, but I couldn't really tell if they were inside out or not. So I was trying to unspin the center lines because they looked a little funky. But then I could see the one outside, the left outside line was not tangled, but the right one was tangled. So somehow that got inverted.
It's tangled, but I think I can fly it like that, right?
So fortunately Mike took his kite, put it on the other side of the wind window there, and I'm working on my kite. And here we go. And a little face plant, and I could definitely see the lines are tangled. And fortunately, he had his kite on the other side, or it would have been another crapshoot there. So I'm gonna walk over to the board, and I take a couple of minutes rest. We'll fast forward through that here, and let's get that board back in the water and see what we can do. I feel pretty confident. I untrimmed the kite, so I had enough power to get my fat butt up, and you can see those lines are crisscrossed there. But it still acts like a normal kite. So the bar wasn't crossed; it wasn't up backwards. It was just one of the outside lines was looped through one of the inside lines. And we're up and riding amazingly. So we got to get all the way back over the other side of the shore. So I'm getting close to the cars, and all of a sudden, wind shadow. And now I'm having difficulty. Now I'm having to dive the kite like crazy, and I can't stay up on the board. And I'm still out to where if things go wrong here, I can end up back down towards the other end of the lake. So I just keep working it, diving the kite. And I thought I was going to get caught on that buoy there. Thank gosh I didn't. And finally I get back up and make it into the shore for a nice landing. So hey, this is Mikey Mike. Make sure you leave some comments, and hopefully we get out kiting again. Lake Isabella, May 2nd, I believe. It was a lot of fun. You got to get a lake pass. I did that online. They weren't selling passes anywhere around, but I got a season pass. I think it was $30. My buddy Andrew said that the sheriffs were keeping people from going in a couple areas, but said, hey, you got to go down there where the kiteboarders and windsurfers are, but make sure you get a pass. So we did that online in our cars, which was awesome. And a quick land here from one of the guys on the beach, which was awesome. And man, what a day, what a day. Actually, I got to go out a couple more times today, and it was no problem. I was definitely spent though, but it was a lot of fun. All right, this is Mikey Mike, man. You guys have a great one. Peace.